Bill Belichick, Nick Saban, Pete Carroll. Um, I'm throwing Mike Vrabel in there because I think he's going to be in that group that he's not in right now. There are some absolute dudes all time. I mean, I grow up thinking Bill and Nick and Pete in particular that are not no longer with their teams. And it's always time, like football moves on, just like anything else. It moves on for coaches too. It feels weird. It feels different that these guys, Bill won't be in New England anymore. That Pete's not going to be in Seattle. I mean, I was in Seattle before Pete with Jim Mora and Mike did some wonderful things in Seattle. But Seattle's not Seattle without Pete Carroll. And for those who don't know, the Paul Allen group that Volcom that was the part of his business that owned that, they built out this VMAX Center on Lake Washington, and it's one of the nicest facilities in the country. And it made it so like you could fly a guy in on a water plane. What are those called? That you land on the water, and you could pull up to this dock at the facility and go, oh my God, this is like, for if you're a player, you go, oh, this is big time. And of course they have Amazon and Microsoft, but it wasn't like Seattle wasn't cool in the National Football League for players until Pete got there. Like he put that place on the map, obviously with the success he had, but the culture he built, but just the enthusiasm and the excitement around that team that just they never had before him. Even with Mike, and Mike was great, and the Seahawks with Matt and all those guys, they did so well. But Pete changed the way that the NFL thought about the Seattle Seahawks. The NFL players thought about Seattle Seahawks. Obviously, you could say the same in New England. You think about Bill, and the New England Patriots are the worst football team in the NFL when I was growing up. I mean, they were a laughing stock. Nobody even thought about them. They had the only thing they had was funny uniforms, and they've been the best franchise for the last 25 years. And at least 50% of the reason of that is Bill Belichick. You could say more or less, Kraft and Tom Brady, but 50% of that is Bill Belichick and what he put in there culturally, his attention to detail, just the way he conducts business. I have so much respect for the way that, and I'm an old school guy, right? So I don't know how much this resonates with younger players now, but I have so much respect for the way that Bill Belichick goes about his business in the media, the way he goes about his business, just with every facet of his life, right? He's a little bit of a hard ass, tough to get along with, okay, but the amount of information that he can give to somebody, the amount of the high expectations that he has for people, the way that he demands excellence. And then you think about Pete and his Win Forever, which he's turned into I think a separate company, that idea. But you think about Pete and the enthusiasm and the love and the passion by which he goes about his business. And I'm sure Nick Saban's the same, and a little bit in both sides. I don't know him as well, but it just is confounding that there are so many. Just the changing of the guard is real now, and it'll be interesting to see who the next guys are. But I just wanted to, if this is the moment where they all retire or whatever they decide to do, tip my hat, because what an incredible group of humans, individually, but also when you think of kind of you throw Mike Tomlin in there, but he's not going anywhere, I don't think. But you think about the longevity and the esteem that those people are held in amongst players in particular in the National Football League. Obviously, the larger fan base and the organizations and the owners all wish they were part of their franchises. But the effect that those guys had on Hall of Fame and All Pro and down to the 53rd man on the roster, the effect they have on those guys is very, very unique, man. They're unicorns.